Hi, HRN listeners. We're celebrating our 15th anniversary, and we have a really fun campaign and an ask for you. This 15th anniversary tour is aiming to bring you closer to unique food and music experiences in some of the most exciting cities in America. All the while, we're raising funds to support our work empowering the next generation of food systems storytellers through our fellowship programs. Here's how it works. Donate to HRN and be entered into a raffle in the city of your choice to win a dinner for two at a noteworthy restaurant and tickets for two to a concert at a prominent local venue. We have incredible partners in New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Nashville, Las Vegas, Charleston, Asheville, and Ardmore, Pennsylvania, who have donated a meal for two and two tickets to a concert of the winner's choice. And all donations help fund our fellowship programs, where we're helping to build essential workforce readiness skills and food system storytelling skills. Check out heritageradionetwork.org/15 to donate and enter to win today. That's heritageradionetwork.org/15. Thank you.
You're listening to Heritage Radio Network. HRN is food radio supported by you. Learn more at heritageradionetwork.org.
This episode is brought to you by Roberta's, home of Heritage Radio Network for 10 years. Learn more about Roberta's at robertaspizza.com.
Welcome to Spill and Dish, a new podcast from the Specialty Food Association. Founded in 1952, SFA is the leading trade association and source of information about the $194 billion specialty food industry. We champion the food producers, retailers, and other buyers who make up the specialty food world. If you want to know more about membership, visit specialtyfood.com. While on the site, check out the new Maker Prep course, a 12-step online program that will teach you how to take your specialty food product to the next level. In each podcast episode, we want to share the stories behind the products made and sold by our members who are helping to shape the future of food. You can listen and discover the inspiration, recipe, craft, culture, ingredients, and production methods that help answer the question, what makes specialty food special? I'm today's host, George Hajar, Associate Editor at SFA. We're excited to bring you today's episode and so happy to be working with Heritage Radio Network, a nonprofit podcast network covering the world of food, drink, and agriculture, and expanding the way eaters think about food. We are joined today by our guest, Emre Imamoglu, co-founder and CEO of CiboVita, a manufacturer of all organic, all natural, and kosher certified products. Brands a part of the company include Nature's Garden natural and organic snacks, Chocolate Orchard chocolate-covered nuts and fruits, and Woodpecker dried fruit and nut combinations. Welcome. We're so happy to have you on the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me here.
So let's dive right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about CiboVita?
Well, CiboVita is the company name. Obviously, as you said, it's Cibo de Vita, called Food for Life. That's pretty much representing our Mediterranean roots, which me and my business partner are originally from Turkey.
And how did the brand get started?
We started this brand about 13, 14 years ago. Our brand name is Nature's Garden, our mainstream brand name. Well, the idea was we wanted to always sell better for you natural functional snacks to the US market. That's how we started the idea. As I said, growing up in the Mediterranean culture, eating better for you fresh fruits and vegetables has always been in our DNA. So that was the whole idea, how we can convert it into and adapt it into the US market by selling better for you snacks.
Yeah, and I see that with that Snack with Purpose brand slogan, and with the a lot of all natural and organic certifications that you really want to harp on that better for you and bringing over that ethos to the US.
Correct. I mean, consumer is moving obviously to that direction. I mean, information is the king. If you look at it, I have a 10-year-old son who is sugar sensitive. So right now, if you look at it, the whole demand is moving into better for you, less sugar, healthier lifestyle. And it's not only your shopping list, it should be your lifestyle. So by knowing that, having that information out there and accessible that easy to the consumer is pretty much helping us to push for that demand and for the cause.
And CiboVita also produces private label products. How do those relationships usually come into fruition?
I mean, private label is part of our life. As you know, store brands are always increasing if you look at the market data. So as a strategy, business strategy, we wanted to keep the private label side. So I will say about 60% of our business is branded under the Nature's Garden brand, and about 40% of our business is on the private label side. And it's part of the business. You have to have it, and it's really helping us because we have a lot of innovation, new products. It is really helping us to show our innovation to our buyers, to our consumers, and having the private label added on the site.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And so there's so many products, there's so many innovations that happen as you were talking before. What sort of goes into the creation of a new product?
As I said, information is extremely important. We look at the market survey, market demand, where the market is moving. We have a great team, great marketing team, innovation team, obviously, and they collaborate really well. And we always say, as a company, innovation is in our DNA. We have to constantly keep innovating, look at the market demand. And we have to recognize one thing. I mean, innovation is one thing, but you have to have the taste and quality profile always in picture. If you compromise your taste, innovation doesn't mean anything. So that's also key for us. We have to keep innovating, look at the market survey, market demand, where the market is shifting, but also keep that uncompromised taste on the side.
And do you have any favorite products that you make?
Right now, I love yogis, basically. I was just eating 2 packs of yogis before coming up here.
That's great. And so yogis is the recent SFA Sophia Gold Award winning product, right?
Yes, correct. Thank you so much for that. It's been pretty much, I will say, that honor and to win this award. And I'd like to say, on behalf of all the CiboVita members, team members, I'd like to thank you also for giving us that award.
Thank you. And can you tell us a little bit about the product?
Well, Yogis is, as I said, it's a fruit piece, no artificial flavors, obviously, on it. It's a yogurt covered fruit pieces. What we did different is we obviously adding probiotics. It has live and active probiotics, at least 2 billion live and active probiotics. And also we're adding 3 grams of fiber on the product, which is really making the product health conscious. If you look at the probiotics, probiotics are gut health. And as I said, consumer is very knowledgeable about the gut health. Gut health is our immune health. So that's the main headline for the product, and adding the fiber really completed the product, basically.
And can you tell us a little bit about the business strategy that helped you grow the business to what it is now?
We started the business as, focusing on the naturally functional snack items, such as almonds, Brazil nuts, walnuts. And as you know, they're naturally functional. Almonds, you get your omega-6. On the walnuts, you can get your omega-3. Or if you focus on Brazil nuts, you get your selenium, right? So from the snacks, a lot of the snacks out there, it's naturally functional. But at the end of the day, as a business strategy, where we wanted to get to is, we want to be ahead of the game. We want to start creating, disruptive products and be the innovation, basically streamline out there, which I believe we achieved that. If you look at our market, our segment, pretty much everyone knows us as the main innovation, ship, and I'm happy to have that, basically.
And what sort of obstacles do you feel you've hit or overcome when growing your business?
I will say team is the key. You should find the right team, basically. For the fact that CiboVita or Nature's Garden is just a brand name, what makes it happening is the people behind it. So you, in our daily life, you go to your suppliers, your consumer, your customers, your employees. They're all people. We're all human. So the key is to be able to get the right human resources behind it. I believe we achieved that. That's really helping us to grow over 30% every year.
And what do you feel has been the most valuable skill that you have learned since you started working or you started the business?
Empathy is always, I say that, to everyone in my life. I mean, we should have empathy. We should understand, where the other side is coming from. When it comes to your consumers, you can apply it, you can adopt it. When it comes to your suppliers, when it comes to your customers, I think having the empathy is the right word. That's what I learned, and I've been practicing it.
That's great to hear. Yeah, and I feel like that's a very unique approach to it as well. Do you have any examples of like ways that you've shown empathy when working with retailers or when working with?
Well, I mean, that really helped us in a way that, we never say our way is the right way or the highway, I will say it. We always try to understand, if you adapt it to our, obviously, customers, we try to understand where they come from. And, it's really helping us to build that, relationship. Now we see ourselves like, all of a sudden, because of the empathy, we see ourselves innovating together the product. And, it's really helping us, as I said, for the fact that, hey, I mean, this is the idea, this is where we're going into, this is the path we want to accomplish. And then all of a sudden, there are other ideas coming from the customer. So we should be open, keep our channels open. We should have that empathy, basically, in our life to understand where they're coming from and then adopt it, basically. So that's one of the main examples I can give you.
Yeah. No, that's really insightful. Thank you. How do you feel the business has evolved over time?
We've been growing over 30% every year. And I say always, we are managing a different type of business every year because of the growth. It's been a phenomenal ride. It's been a phenomenal journey with the team. Business has been evolving, at the pace where, we're trying to be staying ahead of the market game, basically market data. So it is really, helping us.
Do you think you can tell us a little bit about the origins of how you started the business?
Well, I mean, literally, I started the business from my basement. So this is another American dream, basically. So we started packing, very, for the mom and pop stores from the basement. That took about 2 months. Then we moved to our small warehouse. And then, that led us basically started the business and give us the momentum.
That's great. And how has... going a little bit to shifting to current events, things that are going on right now, how has the company navigated this current period of economic uncertainty?
I will say food and pharmaceutical at the same time has always been on the last, category when it comes to economic instability. For the fact that, yes, we're not inflation free, but we're still the least affected when it comes to that. And coming out of COVID, we had we still had our growth period during the COVID time, obviously, and coming out of COVID, we have seen some high freight expenses, so we have to adapt ourselves, which really helped us to look at deep down on our pricing strategy. But at the end of the day, I believe all the companies within the category, within the food and beverage business have stabilized as of now.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And definitely with specialty food as well, there seems to be a little bit more leeway when it comes to pricing because people are willing to pay a little bit more for when they value the product that they're getting, especially if it is a better for you product or a product that definitely they trust to and they look for sources of probiotics or things like that. So what has been the biggest surprise about getting involved in the specialty food trade?
My background is marketing. I studied business. I did marketing. I worked in the music industry for a while, basically. But my dream was to open up a restaurant with a Mediterranean twist. And I've always had interest in getting into that, Mediterranean culture, heritage, how I can, obviously adopt this into the U.S. market. And I had an opportunity to start this business. That's how I got into to the business.
And do you feel your experience working in marketing or even working in music had given you some tools to succeed in this industry?
It's definitely helping. Even my educational background is helping a lot. But at the end of the day, all I can say is it's been a unique experience. I learn a lot of different things every day. And obviously learning has to be part of our life. And we cannot stop to learn. And by managing a company that has been growing over 30% every year, it's been a good learning curve for me at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. That's great to hear. So we're almost out of time, but before you go, we'd like you to participate in our final segment, Take 5. 5 questions for our guest. First, let's pause for a break.
This episode is brought to you by Roberta's, home of Heritage Radio Network for 10 years. Roberta's was founded in Bushwick in 2008 and has become one of the most iconic restaurants in the country. HRN made its home inside of Roberta's in 2009, and together they have become part of the DIY fabric of the neighborhood. Roberta's, the pizza restaurant, is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week and serves much more than just the famous wood-fired pizzas. Their team dreams up new salads, pastas, and sandwiches on the regular. Roberta's Tiki Bar is alive and well in the back garden, serving up frozen drinks in the summer and hot toddies in the winter. Stop by the bakery and takeout spot next door for fresh breads, sticky buns, and pizzas to go. And of course, there's the 2 Michelin-starred Blanca tucked away in the garden for truly daring diners. But Roberta's also extends beyond Bushwick, with multiple locations in New York City and now in Los Angeles. You can also find their frozen pies in grocery stores around the country. The spirit of Roberta's, like Heritage Radio Network, is everywhere. Here's to many more years of pizza-powered radio. Learn more about Roberta's at robertaspizza.com.
Hello again, and welcome back. I'm George Hajar of SFA, speaking with Emre Imamoglu. Okay, here are your 5 questions for our final segment, Take 5. 1. What is your favorite thing about the specialty food industry?
Eating healthy and adapting to my lifestyle is one of my favorite things about the specialty food. It has so many options for every single lifestyle to be able to adapt it to your lifestyle.
2. What's one thing that the SFA has made easier for you as a specialty food business owner?
Well, SFA has been great to obviously give us the opportunity to display our products at different shows when it comes to Winter Fancy or Summer Fancy Food Show. And it's great. It's a great opportunity to be able to meet with our suppliers, our customers, and our consumers at the same time. So it has been a great partnership working with SFA.
And you've been coming to the fancy food shows for 10 years, right?
Over 10 years, correct.
That's
yes.
great. How do you feel how do you feel the process has been over the years coming back now?
Process has been always very easy, very convenient, and we're so glad to be part of this organization. And it's a different, when it comes to New York, it's obviously a different clientele. So it's a very specialty, food. So it is great to be back in New York every year.
That's great. If you weren't running a business, what would you be doing?
Running a business always on my DNA. Obviously, I would run a business, but if I wasn't part of this company, I would be definitely running a Mediterranean restaurant.
What's one piece of advice you'd give a new food business?
Be consistent. Look at the market. Make sure that you stay on top of your business. Be open-minded to every single idea. There is opportunities passing by, and we have to keep our channels open to be able to grab that. And you never know what idea will work. So all I will say is be persistent and stay to the business.
And the final question is, how do you define specialty food?
Well, specialty food is actually a lifestyle. So we need to understand that lifestyle. We need to adopt it. As I said, diets are not part of the grocery list. It should be our lifestyle. And when you talk about the lifestyle on the diet, where the specialty food comes in.
A big thanks to Emre Imamoglu for joining us today. And you can find out more about the show on specialtyfood.com and heritageradionetwork.org. And remember to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Come back often to get to know the people who are shaping the future of food. Special thanks to Heritage Radio Network, the world's pioneer food radio station. This is Spill and Dish, a Specialty Food Association podcast.
Spill and Dish, a Specialty Food Association podcast, is powered by Simplecast. Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. Keep in touch at heritageradionetwork.org/subscribe.
Hey there, I'm Lee Ullman here with some big news from the National Young Farmers Coalition. We're partnering with Heritage Radio Network on a special season of The Farm Report. It's all about what's happening with the Farm Bill and how it impacts farmers and eaters.
I am growing diversified vegetables on land that's been in our family for 150 years.
And so with the pandemic, gentrification, property values going up, we had to sell the land and we lost it.
Join us as we uncover the untold stories behind this massive piece of legislation that shapes how we grow our food, what we eat, and so much more.
The problems we have had, those are things that come from earlier Farm Bill and USDA policy, right? Like Earl Butts, get big or get out.
You know, it's my responsibility to know not only what I'm eating, but then like how that all came to be, and realize like, wow, like this piece of legislation, all this money, like it's technically something that I support as a taxpayer.
While Congress debates the next Farm Bill, this is not just an invitation to listen. It's a call to action. Be part of the conversation. Subscribe to the Farm Report on Heritage Radio Network, wherever you listen to podcasts.